Welcome to the Soul Explorers, a podcast dedicated to those of us waking up to the truth. Hi, my name's Heather. I'm a wife, I'm a mama, I'm a hairdresser, and I'm a business owner. And I am knee deep, if not chest deep, in a spiritual awakening. And I know many of us are out there experiencing the same thing. And I've created the Soul Explorers as a community of those of us who are looking for a group, looking for a place that we can share our stories, because it's really, really lonely. We all know it's extremely lonely out there when you're living these having these experiences daily, and having to, feeling like you could have to keep them to your experiences to yourself, that you don't have anybody to talk to about it. And I think it is super important for us to express what we're experiencing, and hear other people's stories, so we know that we're not alone and we're not crazy, because we're not. When I was a child, I felt super connected to something that I didn't know, something I couldn't see. I would have dreams, I would have out of body experiences, I would have visitors in my room at night and even during the day. Nothing scary, it was always benevolent, but I always felt connected. I would also feel that I didn't belong here, that I was missing people. I felt like my friends, that's how I would think about them or refer them to, that my friends weren't here, and I felt lonely a lot. Um, and I grew up, you go on with life and kind of forget about those things. And there are other experiences that I'll get into in other episodes, but you grow up and you forget about those things, and you go on with life, and they're still in the back of your head, but you go on with the day to day. And then I started getting a little older, and those memories would pop up a little bit, and I'd start thinking about them and questioning them a little bit more, but not very often. And then I started meditating in 2017, and almost instantly had downloads and visuals, and even at the time I was like, I, they were so profound that I couldn't question them, but my human brain questioned them anyway and just let them go, let them be. I didn't have anybody to talk to about these things. How do you bring up, having visions in a dream or hearing things? People just think you're nuts, crazy. So again, just went on with experiencing those beautiful moments, asking for guidance and trying to tap into uh, anything else that was there that I could receive, that could help my life or help others. In 2023, I was so blessed to find a community of people that were similar to me and that had similar experiences as I had. And that just opened up me being able to, me having the freedom to be able to express myself, um, if I wanted to, allowed all of this. I guess it allowed, like I said, freedom, or allowed things to open up in me where I I expanded. I expanded more, and hearing other people's stories and knowing that you're not alone, knowing that you're not crazy, which I always knew I wasn't. But this is another layer of like, nope, you're not. There are people just like you all over the place. And we, thank God I have found those people. And I think we were all so blessed, and we're all so happy and that we have, because we all feel the same. Um, and it's such a magical, magical thing. When I started meditating in 2017, one of the things that I heard, or downloads, whatever you want to call them, I did not ask for guidance this day. It was just complete stillness that I wanted to be in. And it's always complete stillness, but I wasn't doing it for any specific reason. It was just to relax and to tap in. And I received the words, the Soul Explorer, and I took it, and like right afterwards it said podcast, but it was like a couple seconds later. But it was so clear, so vivid, that I remember opening my eyes like, what the heck? That's so specific. And at the time, and even now, I'm like, what do I do with that? Because that is out of the realm of anything that I would ever fathom of doing. I'm very shy. I am not very articulate when it comes to some things. It's the way my brain has always been, is I'm a very deep thinker, and I cannot, it's very hard. There are no words most of the time. There are no words for me to use to express what I think, or how I feel. So I can't talk in front of a camera, or talk in front of people, or express these things that I'm experiencing. So I put it to the side. I kind of pushed it off, but not in a negative way. I sat with it, but to the side. Like, I'll keep this, but I don't know what to do with it. This is not the time, whatever. So life went on, experienced other downloads and visions and things. And I guess it was about a year into finding my group, my group of friends. One day, I was on my way to work, and I don't know what I was thinking. It it just hit me like a ton of bricks, because I had forgotten about the Soul Explorer, and it hit me. It kind of, I think my guides were just like, "This is it. This is it." And I even put in our like messaging, where we like talk and communicate back and forth with each other. This, message was given to me in 2017, and I don't, know what to do with it. So I decided to go back in my notes. For years, I put everything in my notes, it's like my second brain, the notes in my phone. So I went in my notes and I just typed in podcast. I either typed in podcast or soul or explorers or whatever. And there it was, a whole note from November of 2017. It said the Soul Explorer podcast, and it had a list of at least 20 different episode ideas. And I could not believe what I was looking at. I remember the name being given to me. I don't remember writing that down. I do not remember writing all those ideas down for like episode ideas. And I was like, I think this is what I have to do. And that was over a year ago. So that was oh my gosh, maybe it was 2024. Anyway, the years go, I don't know. I bought equipment. I was like, oh, I'm going to do this, right? Like I have stuff I have to say, and I know there are other people out there that have things they have to say and need to express themselves, and I'm going to be that platform. And didn't do anything with it. And I'd practice here and there, like, set up the equipment, and I'd pop one and be like, kind of play around with it. But I struggled big time. I still am. Like, do I look okay? Do I sound okay? Can I articulate everything that I want to articulate? Is this going to be worthy to people? Is this all the questions that we overthink and ask ourselves? And just recently, as I've gotten some signs that are like, you do this now. This is the time. And here we are. I spent 2 days at the beginning of the week stressing so bad about where I would set this up, how I would look, what do I sound like, what do I say? And today I just sat down in this chair in my salon and said, fuck it. Here we are. I am creating this space for you, for me, and how I want it to look. It can look like whatever it turns out looking like. But the idea right now is to share my personal stories, to allow you to feel comfortable to share your personal stories. We'll also have some interviews with some friends of mine who are willing to share their stories as well. And I'd also love to have episodes on meditation techniques and different practices that we can do to ground ourselves. Some like some movement, like physical movement things. I've learned that like our energy gets so stagnant in our bodies, and moving and shaking really helps. And if I have to get out in front of this camera and look like a complete crazy person, that's fine. Because these things work. I do them, and they help so much move energy around. They help with mentality, with our mental states, with depression and anxiety. Because a lot of anxiety comes from this stuff as beautiful, as absolutely beautiful this connection is, our humanness can create this fear and stress. There are so many ways that we can move that around and get it out. So, yeah, showing you anything that I've learned and learning from you. If there's this is a community. If there's anything we can share with each other and bounce things off of each other, that would be amazing. The friendships that have blossomed in the group that, excuse me, that I have found, that's what I want to create here in a bigger way. Um, Maybe it's something where we have our own private community together, because some stories people they're not real comfortable sharing on the YouTube ethers, um, and where it can be a more of a private setting. So, you know, this is where we're going to start. This is where I'm going to start and just see what blossoms and happens. I was told this very specifically with with no other information. So I think it's my part, it's my job to create the momentum, to put one step forward and just to get this started. So here we are. We're the Soul Explorers. 8 years in the making, but does time really exist? That's a big question. But here we are. And we're just going to let this roll and just see what happens. And I invite anyone out there who is willing, who would like to express their story or share their story. There'll be a email in the show notes where you can just shoot me an email. It can be something where if you just feel like you just want to express something and me not share it, just so you get it off your chest, fine. If you would like it shared, it can be shared anonymously or not. I will then read them on episodes. We will have certain episodes dedicated to some specific awakening stories, awakening, whatever words you want to use. There's so many words that are overused these days, but at the same time, are there other words that exist? And we're talking about things like anything under the woo-woo sun, if that's a thing. Telepathy, meditative visions, psychedelic visions, um, downloads, psychic abilities. I have been practicing Mind Sight every single night since I went to the Psy Games in August. And I'm starting to see stuff. So, talk about any type of psychic abilities out there, building your psychic abilities, um, guides, God, the universe, whatever words you want to use, the guidance that we have, anything spiritual. Um, it's all open. UFOs, orbs. I mean, hello. Of course, that's a huge part of like my life right now is things that I see in the sky um and that's with a lot of my friends as well. Any kind of experiencer stories. It's all anything that you can think of like that. We are all experiencing some crazy shit, and it's time to stop feeling like we're nuts, stop feeling like we're crazy, because we're not. We're just seeing the sunrise, waking up every morning to this beautiful sunrise of this life and everything around it that is outside of our human senses. So, welcome, and first one down, and hopefully I plan on doing these maybe every 2 weeks. I had a schedule written down at one point, but we'll just see what happens. But I definitely am going to make them consistent, and I hope to hear from you. I really do. Like and subscribe. I might have this on a podcast platform. I don't know. Right now, it's going to be solely YouTube. We'll see how it progresses. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for listening.